So let me get this straight. Let me fully process everything that happened. Fully process it. This entire weekend series of Phillies baseball against the stinking Washington Nationals. Where's the offense? Where's the offense? Oh, they scored 19 runs on Saturday afternoon? Oh yeah, that's what you're supposed to do to the stinking Washington Nationals. But what am I looking at on Friday and today? What am I looking at Friday and today? You know? Lifeless offense. Sunday actually started good offensively. 2 home runs in the bottom of the first inning, giving Ranger Suarez a nice cushion. And then miscommunication in the outfield between Kyle Schwarber and Brandon Marsh, and a broken bat blooper finds its way into the outfield, which should have been caught. And then Ranger Suarez loses the strike zone that very inning after the Brandon Marsh mistake, gets 2 outs, but then walks 2 guys with 2 outs. And then, after a pitching mound visit, everything there, first pitch, grand slam, Washington takes the lead. And that was basically the game there. Offensively, couldn't do anything after Ranger Suarez gave that up. Yeah, they made it a 1-run game, but Ranger allowed another home run to make it a 5-3 ball game. Nick Castellanos got you back within a run. He's doing a lot for you. But the rest of the offense, if I'm looking at this entire fucking series as a whole, throwing away yesterday's game, because yesterday was the outlier. That wasn't the real Phillies offense, even though it should be, because how many times we're going to be saying this, all this talent on this goddamn lineup should be scoring that amount of runs against this dreadful Nationals team. You lose. You lose a series to the Washington Nationals after your offense goes 2 for 16 with runners in scoring position. How many double plays did you ground into you today? How many double plays? How many double plays? How many double plays did you ground into today? You lost 2-1 on Friday after so many chances to take the lead. So many leadoff hits, so many leadoff doubles. Those guys don't come around to score. Today, Bryce Stott has a leadoff double in the middle innings. He doesn't come around to score. JT, 2 men on, 1 out after Nick Castellanos gets the RBI double, and then Bryce Harper walks. JT grounds into a double play. Double play after double play after double play. It's ridiculous. It's getting old. Brandon Marsh grounds into a double play in the 8th inning. And then, the perfect situation, honestly, you're top of the lineup in the bottom of the 9th inning to walk this game off. 1-run game. Perfect timing. Perfect timing. Perfect timing to walk it off. Kyle Schwarber ground out. Trey Turner ground out. Nick Castellanos deep fly ball to right field, dies at the warning track. Bullpen did fine. Bullpen wasn't the issue this series. Christopher Sanchez on Friday was fine. I didn't even like the way Zack Wheeler pitched yesterday. I did not like it at all. Ranger, I don't even know what happened to Ranger today. Was he due for a bad start after all the fantastic starts that he's had in a row? I guess, but did it have to go that badly? Did it have to go that badly? Yes, I understand Brandon Marsh needs to catch the ball out in center field, but, you can't be walking guys with 2 outs. 2 in a row. You can't be walking guys 2 times in a row with 2 outs. That's why the grand slam happened. Now, if you said, Brandon Marsh catches that ball, Ranger Suarez gets out of the inning without those walks. Fair. But you don't walk guys with 2 outs 2 times in a row. You just don't do that. You just don't. You don't. You don't do that. Have the outfielders back. You should have. And now I'm not giving, Brandon Marsh in the outfield a free pass. That ball has to be caught. And I don't know if it's a complication of Schwarber, doing everything possibly that he can in the outfield to, look terrible. Man looks awkward as hell out there. We all know this. He needs to get out of the outfield. But Bryce Harper won't be at first base probably until August. Most likely. Trade deadline coming up. All-Star break coming up soon. Gotta make something happen, Dave. They get Kyle out of the outfield. Derek Hall gets called up today. Nothing much happened with him. Faced a lefty, grounded into a double play on the first pitch. And I'm thinking to myself during that at bat, that was after the Bryson Stott leadoff double. Bryson Stott leadoff double, then Alec Bohm walks. So 2 men on with 2 out. Why isn't Edmundo Sosa coming to pinch hit for Derek Hall against the lefty? Because you know Derek Hall against lefties, automatic no-go, automatic out. Swings first pitch, grounds into a double play. Got to think the game better there, Rob. And I'm not blaming this game on Rob. Now, that was just being nitpicky. Offensively, it's ridiculous how many opportunities that you squander in this series. Throw away yesterday. Throw away the 19-run outburst. Because that is the outlier. You know what this series reminds me of? Go back to April, the first series at home against the Miami Marlins. Remember that first game against Sandy Alcantara when you put up 2 touchdowns probably? When you put up all those runs? And then the very next 2 games, your offense squandered every possible opportunity. That's what this series feels like. And if you're pushing for a playoff spot and you just happen to not make the playoffs, this is a series that you look back on. And remember the Phillies team last year, they won 19-5 against the Nationals. They didn't lose a single series to the stinking Nationals. Well, you just lost a series to the Nationals. And seriously, in a year where the schedule is balanced, you face them less. That makes those series even more crucial. It's ridiculous. This is what this offense is at this point. Yeah, they'll have their big 10-run outbursts. What offense doesn't? This offense lacks the clutch ability. This offense lacks the ability to hit with runners on. They may have a good average with runners in scoring position, but the underlying numbers, the on-base percentage, the slugging, the power numbers, it's not there. It's not there. Nick Castellanos can do all that he wants. He's basically the only guy that comes up clutch for you. Has a home run today, a home run yesterday. He gets into the All-Star game, which was much deserved. He definitely deserved it because he's basically been the best Philly the entire year. But Bryce is still chucking for that home run. He got very close to one in the first inning, just went foul. Barely grazed the foul pole. Barely foul. Bryce is still looking for it. He's still getting on base at an insane clip, though. Average is still solid. It's just the slugging. Bryce Harper almost has a 400 on base percentage. But the fact that, not having power is killing you. Kyle Schwarber in the outfield is killing you. Trey Turner has one game where he looks really good, a couple of games where he looks really good, and then he has a couple of games where he's back to the beginning of the year, Trey Turner. I just don't get it. I don't understand it. And then Alec Bohm has a game where he hits 2 bombs. It just doesn't make sense. Yeah, you had a nice month of June. You had a great month of June, actually. But what rubs me the wrong way, you just, you didn't really get any traction in the division. You're not winning the division. You're not. Even though that was my goal from the beginning of the year. You were not winning the division, but you didn't get any ground after that fantastic month of June. It's just something feels off. It's the way they lack the clutch hit. They lack the hitting with runners in scoring position. That's just what bothers me. It just feels off. When you're doing this against the Washington Nationals, you're struggling this badly to hit. You had 10 hits today. You went 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position. You went 1 for 8 on Friday with runners in scoring position. How many double plays do you ground out into? Seriously. You sweep the Cubs, which is really good. But the last 3 home series, the last 3 series at home, Atlanta, you lose both of those games too. One of those was because of the rain delay. Well, not because of the rain delay. One of those was canceled because of the rain. So you only played 2 games in that series. You won the series against the Mets, But let's be honest here. The Mets lost that series. The Phillies didn't win that series. The Phillies should have lost that Sunday game. The Mets bullpen blew it. Let's be honest there. And now a series lost to the Nationals, so your last 3 series at home. 1 and 2 in your last 3 series at home. You're playing much better on the road. Don't let that squander the way you play at home. Don't. Just don't. Playing much better on the road. But you lose a series to the Nationals. You thought that was tough. Flip it over. Starting Tuesday, you go down to play Tampa Bay, and then right after that, you play the Marlins. If you thought beating the Nationals was hard, oh boy, good luck against the Tampa Bay Rays and the Miami Marlins. And the Marlins just got swept by the Braves. That's what also makes this loss hurt. It just does. This team makes me feel so many different things. Yes, they have a good month of June. It just, the offense just feels off. It does. The pitching was doing everything in the month of June besides, Aaron Nola. It just feels off. There's something that just feels off. Yeah, they have a solid record right now. The run differential's actually back in the positives, but that's also granted you'd scored 19 runs yesterday, so any team with a negative run differential is going to go positive after that. It's just something feels off. It's just something feels off. I don't know what it's the way you hit with runners in scoring position. That just really bothers me. It does. Because when you have a chance, you have so many chances that you squander. Like, seriously, when you get a leadoff double, that guy doesn't come around. If you compare it to last year's team, the last year's team was like around, I wouldn't say directly in the middle of the pack with runners in scoring position. They were like above average. Above average with runners in scoring position. But they had the power numbers. They hit with runners on base. They got home runs with runners on base. This team doesn't do that. This team doesn't do that. This team doesn't do that this year. This team ranks in the bottom of baseball with runners in scoring position power-wise, I believe. If I look at their stats, I feel like I brought this up like so many years ago. Not even years ago, like a week or something ago. I have to find it, but I doubt I know. I gotta find that again. The runners in scoring position. Where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? That's from the Chicago Cubs series. It's got to be going back to, where is this? Where did I put? Oh, here we go. Here we go. So, OPS, you rank 28th. Average, you rank 25th with runners in scoring position. Home runs, you rank 29th. RBI, 25th. On base percentage, 19th. Slugging, 29th. Runners in scoring position left per game, 3.69. That's 26th in baseball. Last season with runners in scoring position, you ranked 3rd in batting average. You hit 270 last year with runners in scoring position. Your OPS was 7th, 779. Your on base percentage was 10th. Your slugging was 7th. Your RBI were 11th. Your home runs were 15th. Yeah, you left runners in scoring position on base, but look at the complete difference in the power numbers. It's just not good enough. It's not good enough at all. It's nowhere close to good enough. Now, I don't know if that means that this team is due for those numbers to go way up, or that's just who they are this year. That's just who they are. They lack the clutch gene. They lack the clutch hit. They lack the hitting with runners on. It's ridiculous how bad it is with runners on. If I look at Friday's game, look at the lineup. Schwarber 0 for 3, walking a strikeout. Turner 1 for 4. Castellanos 1 for 4. Bryce 2 for 4. JT 0 for 4. Stott 2 for 4. Bohm 2 for 4 with the lone RBI in the game. Marsh 0 for 4. Clemens 0 for 3. He got sent down. 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position. 7 left on base. Your pitching was perfect. Christopher Sanchez allowed 1 run. One of those was unearned because of an error, obviously. And then Hoffman out of the bullpen was fine. Strom out of the bullpen was fine. And Vasquez out of the bullpen was fine. Going throughout that game, you had so many chances to hit with guys on. Kyle Schwarber leadoff walk in the bottom of the first. That turns into nothing because the next 3 guys strike out. Top of the second inning, Garrett hits a home run after, a throwing error by Trey Turner. So that becomes a 2-0 ball game there. Bottom of the second inning, you do respond. Stott with an RBI single. He steals second. Bohm hits an RBI single, scores a run, but then nothing happens after that. Bottom of the third, 1, 2, 3. Bryce Harper, Bryce, and Stott get on in the bottom of the fourth, so that's 2 guys on for Alec Bohm. He strikes out. Bottom of the fifth, you go down 1, 2, 3. Bottom of the sixth, Trey Turner, Nick Castellanos, they lead off with singles, so you get first and third, nobody out. Bryce Harper pops up on 3 pitches. JT Realmuto pops up on the first pitch, and then Bryson Stott strikes out. Bottom of the 7th inning, Alec Bohm leadoff double. Marsh strikes out. Clemens strikes out. Schwarber grounds out. Bottom of the 8th inning, Harper reaching it on an infield single. Nothing happens there. And bottom of the 9th, you go down 1, 2, 3. Looking at today's ball game, Kyle Schwarber 1 for 5. Trey Turner 0 for 5 with 2 strikeouts. Nick Castellanos 2 for 5, 2 RBI. He was fantastic today. Bryce Harper 2 for 2 with 2 walks. JT 1 for 3 with a 2-run home run. Bryson Stott 1 for 3. Alec Bohm 0 for 3 with a walk. Derek Hall 1 for 4. Brandon Marsh 2 for 4. Runners in scoring position 1 for 8. You left 8 runners on. Rangers Suarez was not good. He was not good. Yes, Brandon Marsh needs to catch the ball out in center field, but your pitcher sometimes needs to have your outfielders back, and he did not. He walked 2 guys with 2 outs, and that led to the grand slam. 5 1/3, 7 innings, 5 earned runs, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts, and 2 home runs allowed. Marte was good, Alvarado was solid, and Craig Kimbrell was solid. Your bullpen kept you around. But going throughout the game, after that fantastic bottom of the first inning, 2 home runs with 2 outs, Nick Castellanos and JT, 3-0 ball game. Go to the top of the third. This is when everything breaks down. A leadoff ground out, a single, a strikeout, so you get 2 outs here. Then you get a walk, another walk, and then a grand slam. Bottom of the third, Bryce Harper walk, JT walk, Stott grounds out. Bottom of the fourth, 2-out single by Marsh, nothing happens there. Bottom of the fifth, nothing happens after a Bryce Harper single. Bottom of the sixth, Bryson Stott leadoff double, Alec Bohm walk, Derek Hall grounds out into a double play. Marsh strikes out. Bottom of the 7th inning, Schwarber leadoff double, Castellanos double, Bryce Harper walk, JT grounds out into an inning and a double play. Bottom of the 8th, Stott walks, Hall singles, Marsh grounds out into an inning and a double play. And then the bottom of the 9th, 1, 2, 3. 3 innings in a row, you grounded out into a double play. 3 innings in a row. 3 in a row. Three in a row. And Dave, I see you in here complaining that I'm complaining. I'm sorry that I have expectations of this team. I'm sorry that I'm frustrated that you lost a series to the Washington Nationals, a terrible ball club. I am frustrated that your offense can't hit with runners in scoring position. I'm frustrated that Ranger Suarez, after all the great starts that he had previously, decided to have a bad start today. Will he bounce back? Most likely. But I'm not allowed to be frustrated? And you say I only come on when the Phillies lose. That is completely wrong. That is completely wrong. So don't even call me out there, David. I'm frustrated. I stream basically after every Phillies game. I didn't do every game in this series because it's 4th of July weekend and I want to enjoy my weekend. So, that's why. We all have a right to be frustrated. Fans should be frustrated after this weekend series. Yeah, I'm not taking anything away that you did from June because, yes, you played fantastic in June. Something just feels off about the offense. That's all I'm saying. That is all I'm saying. And Julian is in the chat a lot. David, I speak positive of the team when it's warranted. When it's warranted, go back to all the series wins this year that I spoke positively of the team. All the wins in June this year, I spoke positively of. The entire Cubs series, I spoke positively of. The Mets series, the first game, I spoke positively of. I don't know what you want from me. I can't be, I can't be frustrated. I can't be frustrated. I appreciate that you... Yes, I understand, David. I understand. I'm very frustrated with this. So please just deal with me right now. Please. I just need to get this out. Because I just... And this is not even me saying that the season's over. I am frustrated after a series loss to a bad team. A series that you should win. A team last year that you won every single series against. That is one of the reasons why you were so successful, because you beat... No, David, you didn't hurt my feelings at all. This is just me ranting. You did not hurt my feelings at all. I'm not going to take anything seriously from my subscribers. I'm not. I enjoy everyone here that subscribes. You're allowed to speak your opinion. But that also gives me an option to, go after when I don't agree with you. So, it's the price you pay when coming to subscribe here. But it's just the fact that now you lose this series to Washington. I don't know how to feel going into Tampa Bay and Miami. I'm not confident. I'm not confident because Tampa Bay is miles above where you're supposed to be. They're the best team in baseball. I don't know how you're going to go into that because what is the pitching matchups even supposed to be this series? Because Ranger pitched today, I would assume it's going to be Aaron Nola, Taijuan Walker, and Zack Wheeler. Okay, Christopher Sanchez is the final game here. Aaron Nola, Zach Eflin, Taijuan Walker, and Yanni Chirinos. And then Christopher Sanchez and right now to be determined from the Tampa Bay Rays. I think that was supposed to be Shane McClanahan, but he left his last start with an injury, so I'm assuming he's not going to be available. Zach Eflin this year, he's 9-3 with a 3.29 ERA. I'm sure he's looking for some type of prove it against us. His last game was against the Arizona Diamondbacks. He went 7 innings and allowed 2 earned runs. Previously, against the Kansas City Royals, 6 innings, 3 earned runs. San Diego Padres, 6 innings, 2 earned runs. Oakland, 4 2/3. Minnesota, 6 2/3. Zach Eflin has had a really good year. A really good year for Tampa Bay. That's turning into a good signing for them. Now, pitching-wise, what are we going to get from Aaron Nola? That's one of my major concerns is what are we getting from Aaron Nola this week? Aaron Nola pitched fine. No, not fine. What am I saying? He did not pitch good at all in Chicago. Your offense was the reason why you won that game. But he was fine in the last game against the Braves. Did not allow a run. So, in Aaron Nola's 3 of his last 4 starts, 6 earned runs, 4 earned runs, and 4 earned runs. Sandwiched in between is a 0 earned run appearance. So is Aaron Nola due for a good start? I hope so. Then you're going to get Taijuan Walker, who has been really good lately. 9-3 with a 9.93 ERA. Has been really good in his last so many starts. Had an impressive month of June. Really great month of June, actually. Really good. 1.5 ERA in the month of June. 1 earned run in each of his last 3 starts. And then before that, 0 earned run, 0 earned run. So he's been really good. The month started off with a 4-inning appearance against the Mets. 3 earned runs allowed there. But ever since then, he's been fantastic. 7 innings, 5 innings, 8 innings, 6 innings, 6 innings. He's been really good. Now, is that to say he's due for a bad outing? I hope not. I hope not. And then Christopher Sanchez has been a solid addition to the 5th spot of the rotation. But there's also talk that Andrew Painter is finally going to be facing live batting practice, so maybe he's getting inching closer and closer and closer to getting back to maybe making his major league debut. I'm not sure when that's going to be, but hopefully that's soon. And then the series against the Miami Marlins. Zack Wheeler, Ranger Suarez, and Aaron Nola going up against Sandy Alcantara, who has not been good this year. 3-7 with a 4.93 ERA, a 1.25 whip. He has not been good. That's the bottom line. You smoked him for all the runs this year in his first start against us. Do it again. And then the rest of the series, you're going to be facing Braxton Garrett, who is lefty on the mound, 4-2 at a 3.53 ERA. He's been solid for the Marlins, really good actually. 7 innings against the Pirates and 13 strikeouts. And then 5 innings against the Red Sox, 1 earned run. And then you're going to be facing Jesus Luzardo in the final game before the All-Star break. 6-5 with a 3.53 ERA. So, got to find a way. At least you're not facing Yuri Perez because he's been dynamic ever since being called up. So, you're missing that guy at least. But if I look at the Rays lineup, because they can hit home runs. They can hit home runs, without a doubt. So if I go to Tampa Bay, if I go to just their team in general, stats, offensively, home runs. Let me go to home run leaders. They have, how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They have 6 guys with double-digit home runs. Jose Siri has 16. Randy Arozarena has 15. Luke Raley has 14. Isaac Paredes has 13. Yandy Diaz has 12. And Josh Lowe has 12. So offensively, they can hit bombs. They can murder the ball. Murder the ball. Their RBI leader is Randy Arozarena with 57. Extra base hits. They get a lot of doubles. They get a lot of extra base hits. They're just a good offensive team. Good offensive team. Their best guy is hitting .319, and that's Yandy Diaz. Overall, he has been their best player. So, they're an all-around good team. They're pitching-wise. Let me look at their pitcher's ERA. Shane McClanahan has been really good, but I think he just got injured. Zach Eflin's been really good for them. I think their bullpen's also one of their strong points. They're just an all-around good team. All around. 57-29. They're a great team. So, yeah, it's going to be a tough series. I want to see the Miami Marlins, too. Just to see how they're winning so many games. I just need to see that. So let me look at the Miami Marlins. Their stats. Their batting. The Marlins have 2 guys with double-digit home runs. 2 guys. So they're not a team that's going to hit for power except for Jorge Soler. He has 22 home runs on the year. They don't seem to drive in a lot of RBIs either. They have a lot of guys with high batting averages, though. You know, Luis Ariz, of course. He's almost batting 400. 440 on base. Dude's been unreal for them. De La Cruz, all around, it just doesn't make sense, in my opinion. They're pitching-wise. You know, Sandy Alcantara's not been doing good. I feel like it's their bullpen. I feel like their bullpen's been really good, because I know the Marlins are really good in one-run games, and I feel like that's more counted to their bullpen. It's possibly there. So, yeah, it's going to be a tough stretch, these upcoming 6 games. How do I feel? Not confident. That's just me. That's just me. That's the American League reserves, it looks like. There we go. Your reserves for the National League. I don't think any of them besides Nick Castellanos. Yeah. Nick Castellanos looks like he is the only Philly to make the All-Star game. And, yeah, he deserved it. He deserved it. He deserved it. Brandon Marsh in postgame says that Grand Slam is on him, not on a Ranger. That's all I could say there. But we do have a voicemail here on the Anytime Hotline. We'll go to that. You can leave those at 215-839-9885. Leave those thoughts and opinions down there. Let's get to Sean on the Anytime Hotline. Let's see what he has to say.
All right, so let's sum up this homestand. Friday night, your offense sucked. Saturday, your offense was dynamic. Today, your offense sucked. And the bottom line, rinse, repeat, another shit homestand for the Philadelphia Phillies. An embarrassment to lose 2 out of 3 to a minor league baseball team. I mean, it's not like they didn't have chances. I mean, just too many double plays, too many gag jobs with runners in scoring position. And again, to cut it to its simplest form, look at the first 2 guys in the lineup. I mean, Schwarber, again, got robbed of an RBI hit, but did nothing. And what did Trey Turner do? 0 for 5? Every time you think that guy's turning the corner, he comes back to life. Tough way to end the homestand, and now you get rewarded by going on the road and facing Tampa Bay and Florida. Good luck with that.
Yeah, good luck. That's basically it. Good luck. I don't know how to feel going into these 2 series. I just don't. It just leaves a sour taste in my mouth because you should have won the series. I'm fine. Should have won the series. And yeah, and in a game you lose the series. So, yeah, that's all I can say here. See a lot of guys here in the comment section here. I think some Braves fans joined in trying to talk some trash. Sergeant Gibby, how you doing? Heartless, lifeless, putrid, pathetic, feeble, ballless, and gutless. Wise words from Frank the Tank. Nationals have won 3 series in a row. Interesting. Julian, how you doing? Yep, 2 for 16 with runners in scoring position on Friday and today. They'll need to teach JT how to bunt. Chris, how you doing? Just when MLB community and Phillies fans think the Phillies are finally waking up and playing good ball, man, this is out of nowhere. I thought the Phillies were playing well. I mean, they were playing well. They're just coming off sweeping the Cubs. And they fall flat on their face. I don't understand it. Castellanos going to the All-Star game. Some turnaround from, I'm afraid, Trey Turner has... Yep, I do believe it. If this offense was clicking with runners in scoring position, you would be far above, like 10 games above 500. You would be. Phillies have the Marlins. Yep, they do. No excuses. You need to be... Yeah, exactly. Wild card has 5 teams going to battle for 3 spots. Miami, no clue why they're still winning. Talent alone, Phillies have way more than any of these wild card teams besides the Dodgers, but I don't trust this offense. Yeah, they should. They have way more talent than the Marlins. They have way more talent than the San Francisco Giants. LA, they're the Dodgers. They're probably going to find a way to make the playoffs. But they're better. They should be better than the 2 teams that are fighting in those wild card spots. The Marlins and the Giants. They should be. Marlins pitching has carried them. Look at most of their games low scoring. Nationals are a scrappy team. I'll never give them the light of day. Any compliment like that. Harper will need to be better in the second half. He needs time to heal from his surgery. Maybe the All-Star break is what Harper needs to find that power. Even if they make a trade for hitting, it's not going to fix this. The guys on the roster need to be consistent. Exactly. Tampa Bay and Miami on the road. This can't be a 1-5 week. Yeah, they can't. They cannot go 1-5 this week. Making fun of the Mets. In baseball, it matters when you play a team. They could suck when you play them, or they could be on a tear. No one... Phillies are more talented than the Marlins. Marlins simply pinch well and score enough runs. Yeah, that's it. I guess that's the way the Marlins are winning. Maybe that's due for it to change. Maybe when they get I think their schedule gets a lot tougher in the second half, so maybe once they start facing tougher opponents, maybe they start losing more and coming back down to earth. Maybe that'll happen. Maybe their pitching will come back down to earth. I don't know. I thought by adding Trey Turner was going to make the Phillies offense a juggernaut. I guess, right? It's year 1 Nick Castellanos syndrome and Trey Turner. I guess it is. I couldn't explain it. The Marlins get to play the Cardinals next in a 4-game series, while the Phillies have to play the Tampa Bay Rays. Jesus. Interesting how the Braves completely outclassed the Marlins this season. The Marlins are 1-9 against the Braves. The only game they have won, they had to come back from 5-run deficit in the 9th inning. Well, the Braves are just that much better. The Braves are the best team in the National League. They're one of the best teams in baseball. They should be outclassing the Marlins. They should be. Stop grounding into double plays and their problems will be solved. Ranger Suarez pitched so well against the great teams he faced. He'll probably bounce back. I hope so. I think he will. I'm just very frustrated with this outing by him. I will say something positive. The wildcard spot is right there to take. One of them, even the top wildcard spot. Imagine being the Padres and the Mets. Oh, we are not the Padres and the Mets. We are not the Padres and the Mets. The Padres somehow have a positive run differential, and they are, like at least 5 games below 500? I believe so, if I am not mistaken. Let me see that. Look at the standings. Let me look at the Padres. Padres, they are 38-46 with a plus 23 run differential. Their offense has not been good. I think their pitching has been good. Their offense has been terrible. Sandy 9 games out of the wild card spot. That is nuts. Yep, so many missed opportunities. Yeah, Rhys Hoskins is a big loss for this team. I think people are starting to realize that. 2008 World Series rematch. You honestly believe the Tampa Bay Rays are the best team in baseball? Yeah, I do. Record. I'll say that Rays in the Braves are like Neil and Neil. But basically, you're facing one of the best teams in baseball when you're going up against Tampa Bay. So the Phillies had a good June. They were rewarded by losing ground to teams. Exactly, because the Marlins had a great June. The Braves had a fantastic June. And he just he didn't gain any traction. For as good as that June was, and it was a fantastic June for you, you gained nothing from it. Got fucking kicked in the dick. That's what happened. San Diego's offense is inconsistent. The Milwaukee offense is not the best. They can definitely win both of those series. Oh yeah, I'm not scared about any team in the NL Central. I'm not. No way in hell. I'm scared. I know it says the Brewers have a better record than us, but they're a minus 16 run differential, and they're in first place somehow. The Brewers are a very up and down team. Like I said, the same thing about the Phillies though. But what are you gonna do? Nola does well for the 5th inning. I hope so. I hope so. Sorry about the spelling. I can't find my glasses. The wild card spot's a lot closer, 4-6 this year. The Mets and the Braves were so far ahead for that 4th wild card spot, so the Phillies could get the top wild card spot at home. So there's that. It's possible. Let me look at the wild card standings. Phillies are 2 games back at the 3rd wild card spot. The Giants and the Dodgers are tied for the 2nd wild card spot. The Brewers are a game and a half behind them, even though they're first place in the Central. I'm assuming they're gauging the Brewers and the Reds because they're both tied for first place in the Central. So both the Brewers and the Reds are a game and a half behind that last wild card spot, and the Phillies are 2 games behind. And then the furthest team behind that is the Pittsburgh Pirates with 7 games behind. So the Padres are 8.5 and the Mets are 9. No overreactions. Bad baseball teams take series from good baseball teams all the time, anytime. Yeah, it does happen. It does. Atlanta Sports, go Braves. 8 players in the NL All-Star game. LOL, only 1 Philly. Okay. Is that supposed to make me feel anything? It doesn't. I can care less about the All-Star game. I'm not shocked that 8 Braves made the All-Star team. Because they're a good baseball club. They're a great baseball club. So these teams with these great regular seasons flame out always in the playoffs. Look at the teams last year who won 100 games and all lost in the playoffs. Where did I lost my traction here? Don't tell me what to do. At least the Marlins loss. Braves fans, remind me what happened. Back and forth with the Braves fans right now. We gotta get our hits in. Yep, exactly. At least no first base errors with Rhys like last year. I know how many rants from this site. At least next year we can sign him for cheap. All the goodwill from the road trip gone in a 3-game homestand. Do Braves fans always trash talk your channel? Not really. Not really. I have some good Braves fans subscribe to me. I guess when a random, I have good Braves fans and I have good Mets fans that are subscribed to me. I guess eventually you'll get the trolls from the other fan bases. That's just bound to happen. That's just bound to happen. Every time we lose, I just think to myself, we're not the Mets or the Padres or the Royals or the Cardinals. God. For a manager who loves the lefty-righty matchups, why is Derek Hall against the lefty? Yeah, I thought about that too, Sean. I did. Reds are great offensively, they just need pitching. Offense can be inconsistent sometimes, like yesterday. Yeah, we scored 19 runs, but we lost a lot of close games. NL and the AL Central teams suck every year. MLB should just take the top 6 records every year, forget the divisions. I think we could take 2 or 3 from the Rays. It's baseball, anything could happen. That is true, but do I believe in that? I don't know. Glad I missed this game. This Harden and Lillard stuff is going to ruin my summer. Oh. Don't even get me started there, Corey. Don't even get me started there. Braves have always been a great team for the last 3 decades. Yeah, they're running well. Sergeant Gibby, I'm a Braves fan too. I just like seeing different perspectives, and Filta is the guy to be like beating the Phillies in the regular season and meeting us games, and then losing to them in the playoffs. Hall is another Schwarber, home run or nothing. I'd rather have kept Clemens on the roster. Julian, did you see his June numbers though? Did you see Clemens' June numbers? I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it. If you watch his content excluding the Mets, he doesn't troll anyone. You always gotta throw some shit at the Mets. You always gotta. I throw more shit at Mets than I do with the Braves because I hate the Mets that much more. I hate the Braves. I do with every fiber of my being. You should have seen my reaction last year to the playoff wins. But when it's against the New York Mets, I just feel like a little extra something. Because the Mets met. When is the trade deadline again? It's the last day of July or the first day of August, I believe. I gotta check that. Let me check that for you, Corey. It'll be trade deadline. August 1st. August 1st. Speaking of Mets, are there any Mets fans in this chat right here, or is it just Braves fans? Lion Man, are you a Braves fan? I'm trying to figure it out. Carr, a lifelong Braves fan, love your channel. Dodgers, Marlins, and the Phillies will be there in the wild card spots. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate the love and support. See, I get good other fans from other teams. I do. I do. Harper needs to play the field soon. Basically 2 years he's been DH and is handcuffing this team from letting other guys DH. And yeah. Oh yeah, BJ, I know you're a Mets fan. Yeah, Harper is going to play first base apparently soon. Apparently it's going to be August. That still feels far away though. It still does. I know it's a month away, and a month can go by like that, but it just feels so long. Because the longer I see Kyle Schwarber in the outfield, the longer I throw up. Ugh. So awkward out there in the outfield. Jesus. I was at today's game. It was hot. I hated it. I hate the heat. The game didn't make me feel better. And especially with the only thing that made me feel better was the rain delay where I got to cool off. And that was barely like 10 minutes. Like seriously, me and my father were there. We stood there in the rain until we eventually walked back up. Yeah, Bryce is getting on base. Him getting on base is not the issue. He's getting hits. He's getting walks. So he's still doing Bryce Harper things in that aspect. It's the power that he's just not getting. It's the power. And I'm trying to think of it last year. Because last year when he came back from the thumb injury, teams were just pounding him with fastballs and he couldn't time it up. But then when the off-speed pitches came, he was crushing them. I feel like teams are doing a different approach this year. they're throwing so many off-speed pitches, and he's losing his timing on that to where he can't catch up to the fastball. I feel like they're doing something opposite there. But I think Bryce, with the All-Star break looming up next week, he gets that rest that's much needed for him. Maybe it could be a situation like what happened to JT last year when he wasn't able to go to Toronto. Because after that situation, that fiasco, when he wasn't allowed to cross the border, he led the league in OPS the rest of the season in the second half. So maybe that could be a change for him. It's going to be like Acuna after he was injured. They called him washed even though he wasn't fully healed. Now, that is what Harper is right now. He'll be back in the second half. He needs time to recover. Yeah, I do believe Harper will be fine. He's too good not to be. He came back early from a surgery that no one expected him to come back so soon. He was probably supposed to be back around now. Like, this was probably supposed to be his original thing coming back. Lion Man, a huge Braves fan, but really enjoying watching the Phillies and Mets YouTube post shows like yours. I agree. I agree with that. Thank you there, Lion Man. Thank you. I don't know why I said I agree with that. Look, I was in the heat all day. My brain's melted. It is. Being in 90-degree heat. Sitting in the sun. That wasn't fun. And then watching that fiasco out there on the field. Ugh. I hate the heat. Live in Vegas now. It's 115. I wouldn't know how to handle that, Julian. This studio right here, it's also my bedroom. The way we have central air in this house, the air does not come into this room at all. The air does not come into this room. So when it's hot out and I'm going to bed, I have a fan that's like right behind my desk. It like reads the temperature of the room. Because you know when you have a computer like desktop and all that stuff, you know, sometimes heat's going to come out from the computer. It's going to make the room hotter. All the technology and all that stuff. Sometimes when I go to bed, my fan will say it's like 86 degrees in here. And I'm like, holy shit. Corey, I'd like to get Bellinger at a deadline to play outfield if the price is low. Who knows? I would like a right-handed power bat, though. I feel like that's desperately needed. Alcantara has to be tipping his pitches or lack of movement of his pitches. There is no way someone falls off like that badly after a season like last year, or the league just figured him out. Who knows, man? Who knows? Maybe it's finally coming back to him after, you know, pitching so many complete games, being overused. Maybe that's just the repercussions from that. You know, look at how Zack Wheeler was, you know, when he was overused. So basically, I feel like that's the thing with Alcantara. He was been so overused last year, pitching so many innings. Maybe that's coming back now. Maybe that's showing its ugly head. Bellinger and Marsh in the outfield will be a really good defense. Imagine Bellinger, Marsh, and Pache out there in the outfield. Huge Braves fan, lineman. Do you think the Phillies will add Paul Goldschmidt at the trade deadline? If you go after Paul Goldschmidt, that really defeats the purpose of what you're trying to do with Bryce Harper. Because Bryce Harper goes to first base, it allows other people on the team to utilize the DH spot when really needed so. Especially Kyle Schwarber. Especially, you know, Nick Castellanos, Alec Boehm, JT when he needs the day off from being catcher. It would really defeat the purpose going and getting Goldschmidt. I know a lot of Phillies fans are like, go get Goldschmidt, go get Goldschmidt, go get Goldschmidt. It wouldn't make sense. Yes, he's a right-handed power bat. He's an MVP last year. Hits for power. Great first base. Great glove over there. It wouldn't make sense. It would not make sense. You get Goldschmidt. You're still dealing with Schwarber in the outfield. Low-key should trade for Lane Thomas and Kyle Finnegan. Who knows? Maybe Dave Dombrowski. You need to strengthen the bench up, too. Because this bench is not good either. Strengthen the bench. I don't even think a fifth starter is the priority anymore. A right-handed power bat and something to supplement the bench. Because the bench needs to be better, too. Yeah, Goldschmidt is a great player. He's just really... It does not make sense to come here. It just doesn't. The match doesn't fit. Mets bullpen is overworked. Robertson constantly having to pitch in blowouts and pitching for 2 innings. Yep. Sean, shoot stick Pache in left field and Martian center. 2 out of 3 defensive coverage. Yeah. Goldschmidt is old and the Cards would want a lot. Yep. Yeah. Go get another outfield that could be a right-handed power bat. Possibly. I'm not even sure what's out there that's like that. That you can get for not giving up a lot. That's a major ask. I'm trying to think of like what teams you can look at. Could you look at the Rockies because they're not good? Any team in the NL Central, the AL Central? I have no idea. Is Andrew Painter going to play this season? He's going up against. He's starting to go. I think Rob Thompson said Tuesday he's going to be pitching against live batting practice. So I'm assuming if all that stuff goes well, he'll eventually go, I guess, simulated games and all that crap. And then he'll go on a rehab stint, I guess. And then eventually he'll be called up. Got to take, anything here. Can't get an easy sweep at home and because you couldn't get that one clutch hit you needed. Yeah, exactly. If anything, trade for Arenado. Bellinger? We have nothing to trade. Well, there's some guys I think people will take bites at. You could trade a Griff McGarry. Teams would always like a pitching depth there. There's some prospects I think, you're not going to get a major piece. You're just going to get something that you can, put in the outfield that's a right-handed power bat. Most likely. And pieces for the bench. You're not giving up Painter. I doubt Mick Abel is available. Or, available for trade. I don't think any of those two guys are. Crawford's definitely not, isn't. Wait, who am I thinking of? Why am I thinking? I'm drawing a blank here. Who was the Phillies prospect that just got called to the Futures game? Who is it? Why am I blanking? I'm telling you, being in the heat the entire day melted my brain. Would you consider Andrew McCutcheon coming back? No. I would not. Oh, Justin Crawford. Yeah. Thank you, Bucket Getter. Thank you. I couldn't think of the name. I knew it was Crawford, but for some reason JP. It's not his name. If the White Sox makes Luis Robert available, you have to get him. What are you going to have to give up for him? The White Sox are definitely going to ask a lot. There is no organizational depth in the field. It has been so bad for years in the development. Yeah. You really don't have that much to trade for big pieces. I feel like if you're looking to trade guys, maybe you look at Griff McGarry to be traded. Maybe someone will take him. Maybe someone will take Johan Rojas. I don't know. This Carlos De La Cruz guy in Double-A hitting for a ton of power. I'd keep him. In the ranks. Hwa-Yo Lee in Single-A. He's 20 years old. Looks like a hitting machine. Justin Crawford's actually been really good in the minors this year in Single-A. Getting a lot of hits, getting a lot of stolen bases, getting on base a ton. No power there, but I think power comes when you get older. But he's showcasing that he has a wicked bat. He can get on base on a major scale and steal a lot of bases. He has a ton of stolen bases down there, I believe. So there's a lot to think about there. There definitely is. Trade deadline. I'm sure Dave Dombrowski will have something up his sleeve. I don't know. So there's a lot of things to think about there with this team. But hey, isn't the MLB draft coming up too? Don't they do the draft now during the All-Star game? Or like the week of the All-Star game or something like that? I have no idea. Here's what I would do ASAP. Bilotti up, Kobe down, possibly Brogdon up, Hoffman down. Yeah, I don't know why Bilotti's still down in AAA. I have no idea why Andrew Bilotti is still down there. The dude is being wasted down there. If you've seen his stats down in AAA, he should have been called up days ago, but no, they want to keep Dylan Covey on the roster. No, we need Dylan Covey. No, we need that. No, we need Dylan Covey. Confuses my mind. It just does. When is the MLB draft? July 9th. So it is during the All-Star break. It's the Sunday before the All-Star game. Okay. I don't even know where the Phillies would be drafting at, if you're looking at everything. Phillies have the 27th pick in the first round. I don't even know what they would go after. I have no idea what the baseball prospects. I would assume Dave Dombrowski is going to be either going for a pitcher or going for something. not trading Abel or McGarry, don't want to be the 76ers watching all the young guys leaving. I don't blame people for thinking like that. I choose to keep those guys too. You need as much pitching depth as possible, especially from young guys. But I don't know. So I think I'm gonna end it here though. It's almost 6:30. Chill out the rest of the day. I'm tired. I was sitting in the heat the entire day. I hated it. It would have been felt better if the Phillies won, but they didn't do that. So we'll see what happens this week. Day off tomorrow. Then 4th of July, you play Tampa Bay. So, gotta keep pushing through. I don't know what's going to happen this week, but we'll find out. And I'll keep you guys in the loop every game. Well, most likely going back to daily recaps this week. So, enjoy the rest of your 4th of July weekend. Monday, I'm sure you guys have off from work. Tuesday, I'm sure you guys definitely have off from work. Enjoy the next 2 days. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Hopefully the Phillies do something. Hopefully. So, thank you all for joining tonight. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Don't forget to drop a like. Do not forget to check out everything in the description down below. Don't forget to check out or hit that subscribe button. It does me a great deal. Join the TTP Sports family. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. I have a lot of other fan bases here that love talking baseball. But you can also, if you're a baseball fan, football fan, hockey, basketball, whatever. Philadelphia breaking news, sports recaps, and everything. Hit that subscribe button. Does me a great deal. Also use the code TTPSPORTS, $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. Great deal. Don't pass it up. Thank you for joining again tonight, everybody. I'll see you next time.